Alright, everybody, welcome back to another Tropical Storm Debby update stream. We have got ourselves a confirmed tornado here. It's not confirmed according to the National Weather Service, but we see a very clear CC drop on top of a velocity couplet, and considering we're so far away from radar, the fact that we're seeing a debris ball this high up into the atmosphere is pretty concerning. So if you're included in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and away from windows. It looked like we had something organizing last scan on the CC, but I couldn't tell if that was debris or not, but this is definitely a debris signature, so that tornado warning just expired. Hopefully they reissue it, but if you're in Providence, you definitely need to be in your tornado safe spot. This thing is coming in hot. We also have Mr. Storm here, by the way.
What's up, guys?
But
yeah,
there we go.
Look at the other couplet I was talking about. I don't know if that's a CC drop, but it might be one developing.
On the same storm?
Same storm. Remember before we started streaming?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't know. We'll see next scan.
So they reissued this. It says radar indicated, but it's definitely on the ground. So if you're in Providence, Ellisville, Mason, Murtis, Ebenezer, Columbia, get to your safe spot. I think I've definitely covered this area before. So again, you got one of these tropical tornadoes coming in, so seek shelter immediately. We do have ourselves a tornado-warned storm here near Cape Canaveral, actually, that could have a water spout. This is now on land, alright? So if this did have a debris signature, we could call this a tornado on the ground, but it doesn't. So we don't know if that's on the ground or not, so just get to your safe spot anyway, though. If you are north of Cape Canaveral and Merritt Island, but, again, our main area of concern right now is our confirmed tornado approaching Interstate 75 over the next several minutes. Again, it's going to be going near Providence. Okay, the CC drop looks to still be there, but it's very, very light and very scattered, so that could be a sign that the tornado has lifted. The velocities have been weakening anyways, so we may have a lifting tornado right now, but stay in your safe spot because there could still be debris fallout here in Providence right now. Sorry if you guys can hear that in the background.
That was a strong tornado.
Yeah, quite possibly. So again, if you're just now joining us, we did just have a tornado on the ground near Providence, Florida here. That was a CC, Kevin. That was definitely a CC drop.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
This was definitely a CC drop. It matches right up with the velocities, so. Again, if we still have a tornado, it would be somewhere in the Providence area right now. Again, it's just one of these little bean supercells that popped up.
So the tornado warning down by Sarasota doesn't look too concerning at the moment, but you know, any one of these embedded areas of rotation can spin up so quickly, just like we saw with Beryl. We've been seeing so many tornadoes, so many tornado warnings. So don't let your guard down. Just be sure that even if it's, you know, weakening out or a little bit or whatever, if it's getting broad or, you know, whatever, just don't take that as like a sign to say, like, oh, okay, we're gonna be fine. This is not gonna be a tornado. That's not what it means. It just means that the like imminent tornado threat is dying down slightly.
Yeah, so again, it's important to stay in that tornado warning. Stay in your safe spot if you're under the tornado warning for as long as the warning is in effect, right? Not just whenever there's a tornado on the ground, because a lot of times in this situation, there's going to be tornadoes that touch down and we're not going to notice them because some spots out here don't get great radar coverage, obviously, and other times they're just so small that they're hard to see on radar. So just, you know, if you're under any sort of tornado warning today, whether it's radar indicated, PDS, even if it's a tornado emergency, just treat it the exact same way in all situations and make sure that you are getting to that safe spot there. And that's not me saying we're going to have a tornado emergency today. I was just making a comparison there.
That water spout coming on land still seems pretty concerning because you've got really strong rotation, except it's just I don't see it tightening up like enough to really look like it's threatening to produce a tornado like any second. You know what I mean?
On which one?
The water spout that just came on shore on the east coast of Florida.
Yeah.
I apologize for the confusion. My town names are just not coming up on radar scope, so that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, and I'm not sure why, but...
Yeah, it's like when I click for the radar site, they always disappear, which is really frustrating.
It actually looks like this tornado has been on the ground for a while. I could see the power outage maps here. I could see the counties had outages, but there was no way to confirm that this was on the ground until a couple minutes ago because there was no sort of debris signature because we are kind of far away from the radar site. So I think that this actually was on the ground for longer than we think it was. I think that it was causing outages quite a while ago. Now this, again, tornadic rotation just entering portions of what looks to be Columbia County here, sorry. What?
Me and Mom.
Alright, sorry about that, everybody. We're back. So again, still got that rotation there, either just now entering Union County or Columbia County. Again, not sure which one here. I think it's Columbia County. I'm pretty sure the other one was Union County. So...
If you're just not tuning in, we're tracking tornadoes out of these outer bands from Tropical Storm, I want to say Barrel, Debby.
yeah, I keep wanting to say Barrel as well.
But right now Debby is just off the west coast of Florida, and we will be getting an update from the National Hurricane Center soon, so we'll see if it's a hurricane by then, but right now we're just tracking the very strong winds from Debby and also these spin-up tornadoes.
Yeah. Sorry for all the background noise this stream, guys. It's a mess, I know. But this doesn't usually happen. If you're new to the channel here, I promise this is not usually how it goes. But again, if you're just now tuning in, we did just have a tornado likely rip through Providence, Florida here. There was a pretty clear debris signature. I'd be very surprised if that wasn't a debris signature, and I think it was on the ground for longer than we thought, and I think it was causing power outages here in Union County and whatever the previous county was before that as well. So, again, this could recycle another tornado, and it may still be on the ground. We just don't have a debris signature anymore. So, again, stay in that tornado-safe spot. If you're in Ellisville, Columbia, or along Interstate 75 there in between Ellisville and Lake City. I think the least impressive out of all of our tornado warnings right now would be the one near Sarasota. Kind of surprised they decided to tornado warn it at all. But it does have some very weak broad rotation, so make sure you're staying in your safe spot if you're in Lorraine. But I personally don't think it's going to do anything in terms of a tornado threat. I do think you're going to see some damaging winds with that storm, though. And you're under a considerable flash flood warning in Sarasota as well. And that may actually get upgraded to a flash flood emergency if we do get too much more rain there, because this area has already seen a ton of rain. This area here, let's see, we have about 10 inches of rain in localized areas. It looks like maybe even close to a foot in localized areas here, hugging the west coast here of Florida near Sarasota, northwest of Sarasota, near Bradenton. So again, that's a very serious situation. Again, we may see an upgrade to a flash flood emergency, but right now it is a considerable flash flood warning. That's a level in between a regular flash flood warning and a flash flood emergency. But again, I would not rule out an upgrade because we do have some more rain coming in, some more heavy rain. But luckily, it shouldn't be too much more. So I think that we'll probably just see that continue as a flash flood warning. But I don't know, things could definitely change. So look out, and again, turn around, don't drown. Just don't be driving at all right now. I mean, you're about to get punched with all these damaging winds. Again, you are also under a flash flood warning, which is a pretty serious situation, so don't go outside and try to drive, obviously.
Stay alive, don't drive.
Yeah, it's the saying.
Turn around, just drown. But these are the beginning impacts from Debby. Alright, we're expecting landfall sometime tomorrow, alright? And Debby is expected to be a high-end Category 1 hurricane in the Big Bend region of Florida, so please be sure to have all your, preparations done already if you're staying. Alright, obviously, I believe some evacuations have been ordered, correct?
Yeah, so I think at last check there were evacuation orders. I know there were at least some for the lower lying counties in the Florida Big Bend, but I imagine at this point it's all the counties in the Florida Big Bend.
So Perry and surrounding areas.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you are under an evacuation order, you have got to get out now. We are expecting landfall probably in about 12 hours or so, but even before landfall, you're going to see damaging winds, you're going to see tornadoes, you're going to see very torrential rainfall, you could even see some storm surge. So I just get out now before things are too late, obviously. I mean, don't just wait all the way up until the second that landfall happens to evacuate. If you're under evacuation order, I'd say just get out of there now. You still have time, but not much. So if you haven't already packed a bag, just do that, and again, get out of there as quickly as possible. By the way, this tornado watch is about to expire in 4 minutes, but the Storm Prediction Center has mentioned that they are going to reissue this tornado watch, and it'll be in effect for the next several hours, most likely, even going into the overnight hours, so.
Yep, so that's definitely the right move, and believe me, conditions are quickly deteriorating across the west coast of Florida.
Yeah. And
we already have damage as well.
Yeah, we already have some reports of damage. This damage report comes from Lake Eustis. Large tree down in yard with damage to power lines, additional damage to tree branches. We also are seeing damage reports come out of some other spots here in central Florida. We have lots of storm surge in southwestern Florida that happened, so obviously that caused quite a bit of substantial damage. But yeah, again, it's obviously going to be much worse tomorrow whenever we're dealing with landfall in the Big Bend. We're going to see devastating to potentially even catastrophic impacts at times.
Yeah.
We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for our tornado warning storm near Cape Canaveral. It looks like they're going to let that tornado warning expire. They've reissued it as a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it here. So
we're down to 2 by now, right?
Right now we're at 3, but whenever this one expires, yes, we'll be at 2.
Alright. So, at the moment, I'm really not picking up on any serious areas of rotation.
Yeah, again, one of the things we'd be watching for, though, would just be the storm that produced the tornado to recycle. That's a real possibility, obviously.
Yeah.
And again, right now, that's right over Interstate 75, so if that still has a tornado, that's going to be pretty bad there. So again, you need to seek shelter immediately if you're in this tornado warning. Again, this storm has a history of producing a tornado, potentially even a briefly strong tornado, and it could still be doing that. So please just get to your safe spot. It's not worth the risk. Like, you have nothing to lose if you do it. You could lose everything if you don't. So get into that safe spot. Again, weak broad rotation with the storm, it looks like on radar, but a lot of these tornadoes today have been things that we can't just confirm with radar. So just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's one of those situations.
Yeah. Tight rotation with that storm.
And we do have some rotation here nearing Waterbury, Florida as well, with our tornado warning storm in west central Florida, it looks like. And we are starting to see some of those power outage numbers spike. All those counties there that are shaded in those different colors of blues, those are counties that have power outages sustained from Tropical Storm Debby. We do have a new tornado warning now for our storm that previously produced a tornado. Again, broad rotation at this point, but get to your safe spot here. If you are in portions of southern, what I believe is Columbia County. So that includes Bass, Columbia, all those areas there. So the tornado watch did just get reissued. It specifies a few tornadoes possible and isolated damaging wind gusts to 65 miles per hour possible. So again, we cannot rule out a few more tornadoes overnight here. We've already had so many just brief little spin-up baby tornadoes, which is usually what we see with tropical systems like this. Obviously, Beryl, the tornadoes were a bit more intense, but you don't see stuff like that with every tropical system. I just want to make that clear. Beryl was a rare occurrence where we had day after day significant tornado outbreaks unexpectedly. Not all tropical systems are like that.
And they were strong tornadoes. We had several PDS tornadoes. So we're praying that does not happen with Debby.
Yeah. So...
and if you were wondering, you do not get hail with tropical-related storms. It's just embedded areas of rotation within the outer bands. So you don't need to worry about large hail or anything.
Yeah. Hail can develop in tropical systems, but it's extremely rare. But it has happened. But that new tornado watch there, that includes areas all the way from Northport back into southeast Georgia. That includes Valdosta, Jacksonville, Gainesville, Ocala, Palm Desert, Deltona, Orlando, Spring Hill, Tampa, Sebring, Sarasota, Palm Bay, and surrounding areas there. Almost 12 million people in that new tornado watch. So again, we still have a tornado warning in effect now for portions of west central Columbia County, and then we also have a tornado warning, we still have a tornado warning in effect here for portions of central Manatee and north central Sarasota counties. So we'll continue to watch this. Again, a little bit of rotation there south of Waterbury. It's pretty broad, though, in nature, so it shouldn't be anything too concerning, honestly. Yeah, but Kevin, just remember, these little spin-up areas of rotation just pop up, like, out of nowhere, so we'll stay live here for a little bit, but yeah, I agree with you. In the near term, there's no significant tornado threat, I would say, but all these little bitty areas of rotation we'll keep having to watch here. At this point, the threat has, for the most part, moved out of far southern Florida. They let the tornado watch be gone there. At this point, the worst you're going to see in extreme southern Florida would just be some thunder showers, maybe some gusty winds. And we should have a new National Hurricane Center outlook, or is that in an hour?
Let me check.
That should be right now, I believe.
New update.
Is there?
It's not a hurricane.
Is there a new update? I don't see it.
7:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Debby is still a tropical storm. Wow.
I don't know if that's a new update, though. Because if you look...
It says...
Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, so the update is coming out, but it's not... Like, if you click on Debby, it's not giving me the description yet. It's giving me the last update one.
Alright, they've updated the cone, by the way.
Okay.
So... I don't know if you knew this, but the high risk for flash flooding has extended into North Florida.
Yeah, I saw that on the day too. It's been like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aline.
I mean, do you think that they're still updating it? Because
Yeah, because I don't. It's weird. Like the National Hurricane Center website is updated, but I called it Barrel again. Debby itself isn't updated yet. Not from what I see, anyway.
yeah,
I'm pretty
I really
sure.
do think that this is a hurricane.
Oh, nope. So 7 p.m. update Central. Still a tropical storm, but it has 70 mile per hour sustained winds. So if it were literally 4 miles per hour higher, it would be a hurricane right now.
So we are at a near hurricane right now.
Yeah.
This is it, folks. So, Debbie, still a tropical storm right now, but we're expecting it to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane.
And see, the problem with this is there's an icon for a Cat 1 about a county and a half inland, and then there's an icon for a Cat 1 out way before it's done strengthening. So in the middle of those two icons, it could actually be briefly a Category 2, but we don't know that because the National Hurricane Center doesn't have an icon out for there. But if you look, the storm at the they're saying it's going to be an 85 mile per hour sustained storm, right? Well, all it needs to do is get up to, is it 94?
I think that's right.
For a Cat 2?
I have a book I can check real quick.
96. Okay, so again, if it's, briefly even 10 miles per hour higher in between these two icons, which it definitely could be, we could be dealing with a low end Cat 2 at some point, and then it would be a low end Cat 2 at landfall.
Yep.
And we'll keep watching this rotation here north of Waterbury. It actually is getting a little bit stronger there, but okay. So they did just extend that tornado warning also. So north central Manatee County and southeastern Hillsborough County seek shelter immediately. This includes the town of North Ruskin. Down towards Willow, Manhattan, and Oak Knoll. Seek shelter immediately if you are in this brand new red flashing polygon. And the tornado warning is no longer in effect in north central Florida for a storm that originally produced that potentially strong tornado. And again, that was definitely briefly on the ground. It did have a CC drop. Not this one, but the one up north. So let's see here. Do we have the new information yet on the NHC website? We do not. It's like they're doing like half of a full update, but they're not doing. It's weird. Just give me 1 second. Trying to see any mentions of the tornado on social media. I'm not seeing anything. I have no doubt that that was on the ground, though. But yeah. Wow. So there was a rain-wrapped water spout on the storm that was near Cape Canaveral. It's been described as a large rain-wrapped tornado/water spout. We don't know if it was ever actually a tornado, but definitely was a water spout, and it could have been a tornadic water spout, but we don't know if it ever went onto shore or not, I don't think. I don't think we have that confirmation.
I don't know what happened. I think it disconnected me for some reason because I definitely did not leave the call intentionally.
Oh, I didn't even notice because well, like you weren't saying anything and it was confusing me, but
Yeah. So sorry about that.
I just realized I still have the title as Tornado on the Ground. I need to fix that. What's up, Sam? But yeah, if you're just not tuning in, we did briefly have a tornado up in Union County, Florida, with a CC drop and everything. It also may have been on the ground for a while, as it looks like it knocked out power for a significant amount of people in a couple of counties. There was the CC drop. I know it doesn't look like anything crazy, but you got to remember we are looking thousands of feet up into the atmosphere to see this. And if we look at the velocities, we can see that it matched up perfectly with that correlation coefficient drop. So, whoops, it's not going far back enough, but if we play at 21 frames here, you can see that was definitely a tornado on the ground, at least very briefly. But again, it could have been even a little bit longer than we thought. So,
Yep. Finally, my town names are coming up.
oh, nice.
So, if you're south of Lake City, alright, that dangerous tornadic storm is heading your way.
Yeah, but it's not really rotating anymore. I wouldn't be worried about it, other than for a heavy rain threat. So again, you can see that Debby is intensifying a lot. I didn't even change the title, did I? I talked about doing it, and I didn't even do it. Okay. Awkward moment. Okay.
So, the St. Petersburg and Tampa area we all know is very populated near clear water, yet I don't think it's going to go through the most populated area because it's probably just going to go to the south of there. But we currently have 2 tornado warnings in that area, and I'm getting a lot of areas just of, broad, like very, very broad rotation, but remember that they can tighten up very, very, very quickly, especially when you get, these tropical storms and these hurricanes. So you really just want to make sure that if you are in the Tampa area, you're staying extra weather aware because it's, these things can happen very quickly, and we've already seen some, maybe even some strong tornadoes today with that CC drop up in North Florida. So just please stay weather aware.
Yeah. So, again, we don't have any reports of damage from that tornado yet, but I have no doubt in my mind that that was on the ground. What's up, Super Zelen? That was a bad voice crack. But yeah, I mean, again, Debby is so close to being a hurricane. The National Hurricane Center was probably split on what to do, but they went ahead and labeled it as a 70-mile-per-hour storm instead of a 75. So it's not technically a hurricane yet, but we are this close. This is literally as close as you get to having a hurricane without actually having one. If we look at all these live cams here these are only the outer bands of the hurricane, and look at this. We're seeing gusty winds for sure, lots of flooding rainfall, and look at this, the waves already getting higher. So again, we'll continue to watch all these here. Look at Cedar Key. This is pretty intense stuff here. And then we have Steinhatchee. This is the one that is interactive, but yeah, you see that. And then you've also got Keaton Beach, Florida. So tomorrow morning or afternoon, whenever this makes landfall, these cameras are going to be very useful. Remember what they look like now, and then tomorrow look at them and see what they look like. They are probably going to be completely, if not mostly, underwater here. Well, the cameras won't be, but the land that they're on most likely will be. So again, it's going to be crazy. Again, if you have the Radar Omega app, I believe you can turn on Project Mesovort for free in the settings and get these cameras here. So.
Yeah, so, if you're weather enthusiasts like us, feel free to just tune in and, pull up Radar Omega and just track these storms, but you can do it no matter who you are.
Okay, let's go. Motivational speech.
Yes, sir.
So, again, we do have that considerable flash flood warning now going out for Sarasota. It could get upgraded to a flash flood emergency. There's a good chance. This area is also seeing storm surge and everything, so it's quite intense out there, I imagine, right now. So if you know anybody out here, if you have any friends in Venice or Sarasota, I mean, really anywhere on the west coast of Florida right now, but especially in this area, make sure that they're okay, because we are seeing very torrential rainfall, extremely torrential rainfall, going all the way from Elfers back down towards Venice. We could have a swath where everybody in there has seen at least a half foot or more of rain. Stay blessed, everyone, from... Is that... I'm not good with my flags. What flag is that? Does anybody know? Thank you, Aline. I'm sorry, I don't know what flag that is. Let's find out. That is... That definitely feels like one that I should know, but I don't know it. Definitely seen it before, though. Scotland. Yeah, I should have known that. Alright. That is my bad. That makes me look really dumb. Okay. But again, we got still some of these little bean cells out here in Florida to watch. Some of them start rotating.
So Davis hopefully will be live for coverage tomorrow, depending on his schedule, so be sure to tune in for that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be live at the moment of landfall, but I'll definitely be live at some point around landfall. But I'm pretty busy tomorrow, so I'll go live whenever I can. So, if I'm not going live, it's just because I'm busy. That's the only reason, so there's nothing I can do about that, obviously. But if I could stay home and live stream the whole thing, I would, but it's not an option. So, again, I'll be live at some point. It may be for the landfall. It may be a couple hours before the landfall, a couple hours after the landfall. It may be... I really have no idea. It's just going to depend on, one, when this thing makes landfall, because we're still not entirely sure. At the newest National Hurricane Center update, it looks like they're leaning more towards the late morning time hours tomorrow. And if that were the case, I may be able to go live just as landfall is happening, or it would be a little bit after landfall. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so just stick with me here. And again, if I'm not live, I'm sorry. I want to be if I'm not live, but yeah. And we're definitely going to be live here over the next few days. Tomorrow's not the last day of this thing. Going into Tuesday here, we're going to be dealing with a tropical storm, Debby, sweeping across southeast Georgia, so we'll be live for that, obviously. And then on Wednesday, we will be tracking it again as it gets ready for its next landfall, and then on Thursday, it'll have its next landfall in South Carolina. And then even going into Friday, we'll be watching it as it tracks across portions of the Carolinas here as a tropical depression. And then after that, we're going to have another tropical system to potentially have to look out for here in the Gulf. So it's going to be a busy week here, a busy few weeks really for the tropics.
Yep.
Somebody asked, why is your microphone so weird?
That's probably me.
I think it's because you're on your phone.
Yeah.
So we actually don't have any warnings right now in Florida, or any severe warnings anywhere, tornado warnings. We'll take one last brief look around here, see if we see anything worth staying live for, but if not, we'll end off early here. Again, this is like the 5th live stream today because she's been off and on, man. But it's been.
I don't see anything too concerning at the moment.
Yeah, been crazy. Let me just make sure to get a good final look here. Again, the winds are probably absolutely ripping right now, kind of in west central Florida, right along the immediate coast. Like if you're in Spring Hill, Homosassa Springs, if you have any if you're out there, I mean, just let us know what you're seeing because that has got to be absolutely insane, and the winds are going to be that strong for a long period of time. But right now in Spring Hill, this is elevated, but we're measuring winds at about 75 miles an hour. It's not super highly elevated, so we could definitely be seeing gusts up to 70 in that area. Some of the strongest winds in this system right now are just off the coast, where we're measuring 85 to 90 mile per hour gusts. Remember, that's elevated, but the surface gusts with that definitely could still be 80 miles per hour, I'd say. The National Hurricane Center says 75, so somewhere around there, but yeah, if nobody has any questions, we'll end off here in a few minutes. So we'll wait to see if anybody has any questions in chat.
Yeah, but if you're in Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Largo, Palm Harbor, Hudson, Spring Hill, all those areas, I mean, like David said, it must be just really, really strong wind that you've got on your hands, and really up towards Spring Hill and Pine Island is where we're seeing the strongest of winds, but even down towards Sarasota, Vamo, and, that kind of area, we're still dealing with pretty strong winds as well, so that's where the center of the tropical storm is moving through, and it almost looks like it has an eye developing on radar, so to be honest, it's looking like a hurricane, just isn't one quite yet.
Yeah, and if we look at the actual satellite imagery here, let's pull up Tropical Storm Debby. We can't see it right now. It's just now fading away, but if we look a little bit back here, we'll look 30 frames back. Look at this, guys. We have got ourselves a very impressive-looking tropical system. Again, if I were the National Hurricane Center, I would have just gone ahead and called this a Category 1 hurricane, but their move, obviously. But, I mean, it's heading north. It's barreling north pretty quickly here. It's interesting. It's not quite on board with what this track is, but it's also not heading the same direction as what the track says, so it's going to kind of even out, and it'll make landfall where we're expecting, but it'll be weird. So just stick with us, everybody. That could lead to some more impacts a little bit further into the Panhandle than we were originally expecting, but yeah. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow for Debby at some point. I really doubt we're going to have any more streams today. We've had like 6 of them. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.